Welcome to the show. I'm trying to sure my D started the show 5 minutes early, even though I had 5 minutes. I had 5 minutes. You gotta wait 1 second. I'm responding to somebody. Yep, business never stops. Working on getting us some donations. Um, D star show. Just wasn't even ready. Anyway, let's go ahead and get a word in for my sponsor. Hey everybody, welcome to Women in Linux. I am Tam and Dee is in the background, and we just want to share with you some of the perks of being here on our channel. All right, so first things first, if you want to connect with us on social media, connect with us anywhere on social media at Women in Linux. If that's just too much for you, you can always come and find us on womeninlinux.org. And if that's not enough, we have even more perks where you can hit the connect button. Once you hit connect button, you put your email address in here, and once you put your email address in here, it'll connect with us in our Slack group. We have tons of resources in our Slack group. People looking for jobs, people just looking for advice, people looking for information, and so forth. Right. So again, this is Slack. It's not Discord. So on with using Slack, I warn you, it is resource heavy. So you may need to use either the web browser, or if you're on your phone, you should be fine. But if you're on your desktop, and we know most of you connect on your computer, it's easier to open it up in your web browser so it doesn't take up so much memory or so many processes and so forth. That's just an FYI. That's how I use it. Okay. And if you would like to shop with us, we still have our stuff from our 5 year stuff. Still good. We're working on more T-shirts. No, no estate, no date. We're still working on that. But again, if you want to shop and you want to get some merch, feel free to come here and get some merch. Again, if you come over here and click on all products, you'll see on all the products that we have, from hoodies to masks and so forth and so on. Right. And if that isn't good enough for you, you can donate. You can always donate with your time. You can donate with your money. So, how do you donate with your time? You donate with your time by saying, hey, I would like to do a presentation, or I like to volunteer on helping us grow the channel. You retweet, you share this with other members. In fact, for those of you that come here every single week, we know you come here every single week and you don't subscribe. That helps us grow the channel. That helps us get more content to you. Hey, research isn't easy. I'm not getting paid to do research. I wish it was at a university, but hey, I'm bringing this to you, right? I'm bringing this to you and us and for others, right? So if that doesn't work, you can always donate on PayPal by clicking the donate button. Once you hit the donate button, you have your own denominations in which you can donate. And if that doesn't work for you, you can always reach out to D and you can cut a check and send a check. That works for us as well. All right. So what are some other things that we actually do have as well? Right. So we have a discount with IT Pro TV. You get 30% off. I've used IT Pro TV myself. I've done interviews with them. I'll pull those up as well too. But as you can see, I'm logging into IT Pro TV. What are the benefits here? You need to learn how you learn. So one of the things you can do in IT Pro TV, you can come over here, you can click on courses, and it gives you a list of courses that's separating them out by certification, and also separate them out by learning paths. You're like, Tameika, what does that mean? My four basic principles or my four basic foundations of skill sets that you should have is Linux. You should also have an automation tool, whether it's Terraform or Ansible. You should know at least a cloud. I don't care. Pick either one. And finally, last but not least, security. And security comes in multiple forms: security of the operating system, security of the application, and also security of containers, right? And cloud security. So it's multiple facets when we're talking about security. Those are your four basics that you're going to need to to get you a job and then move you up. All right. And we're going to talk about our membership here in another video, but I just want to get this out to you. All right. So that's 30% off of IT Pro TV. And last but not least, our Calendly. We have set up for our Calendly. Let me pull that up. I think I have it saved in my browser here, so I can just go straight to it. If not, I'll get it from D here. Here we go, right here. All right. So with Calendly, we have one-on-one sessions. That's where you get to talk to either me or D, and you can request either one. But where you get to talk to us in a one-on-one session, right? Interview prep. Some of you are getting ready for interviews, or you never interviewed before. We want to prep you for an interview. Resume review. Let's go over what you have, or let's pull all your skills together. Let's get things formatted properly. Let's get everything going. And last but not least, career assessment. What is your journey? What could it look like? What could you be going through? What are your next steps? Some of you are transitioning, some of you are not, some of you are looking to transition, and some of you are just trying to figure out what is your next step. So, by saying all of this, we want you to enjoy your time here at Women in Linux. And also, as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the share button, and last but not least, thank yourself that you actually did it. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? I see you in the chat. Adrian, thank you for stopping by. Toya, Casual Economist, Jim Nail One, I see you. Dante Ruffin, I see you. Miss Phoenix, I see you. John, what's going on? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening for those that are watching from afar. Mm, okay. That's the talking about something in the back. What's going on, Kevin? Good to see you. For those of you that are not members, 100K, 300K, 500K, you may want to become a member. You may want to join and be a member because I got some announcements coming up for this week for our members that I will be dropping exclusively for our members um, this week. So you may want to do that. Um, it will be scholarships that I'll be dropping this week. So give the members exclusivity first. Give you all that right first. Well, also tell me what you thought about the actual um, interview yesterday. We did an interview with the director of SRE uh, yesterday over what was he? He was at Survey Monkey prior to that. So let us know what you thought about it. For those of you that are interested in SRE, did you go follow him on LinkedIn? Um, what were your thoughts? Let us know on that. Also, let us know what other type of shows you would like to see. I know some people like tech sales, this, that, and other, but we've had some folks on there from tech sales as well too, um, and we've also had people on from pre-sales as well. So we have covered that before. Um, we had recruiters on to talk about blockchain. We've had Kelsey Hightower on from Google. We've had Amy Rich on from Redux, and she's over at Usenix. Um, I said I was going to get some people that only work in the research field on the IT side of things, where they only do research. I think that's another avenue that some people may explore. Um, and when I say that, I'm speaking from the perspective of, say you went to school and you got your master's degree and you go into doing your PhD and start doing research. And when you start doing research, you may want to do research for a company. You may, every university, most of these larger companies, your IBMs and stuff, they have researchers, and that's all they do is research stuff, right? And they still get paid. I even brought up the was it a quant developer a quant. It was a quant researcher. It wasn't a developer, and that job was paying 2 million. So it depends on the area, depends on what it is. Most of the time, those researchers are, you know, doing research, getting patents. We talked about assets before. We talked about the different asset classes, and patents and your IP is another asset class that may not net you now, but could net in the future as far as, and I look at that from your skill sets. So building up your skill sets is another way to build up your assets as well too. So again, I'm looking at things from a perspective of how can one build uh, their not necessarily their net worth. You could look at it like that, but how do you build your assets? How do you take your money and add to what you have? Speaking of, does anybody have their 5 million, 10 million, 15 million, $50 million plan laid out yet? Is it time to do our Q&A call on that? Um, Drop in the comments if you all have made that plan. Have you all made your plan for your W-2 for your 200K, right? Have you made your retirement plan? Have you been investing in your 401Ks, your Roth 401K, your IRAs? Have you invested in ETFs? What about your HSAs? Have you invested in those? Have you put time aside to research that? Have you decided on what you want to invest in? Do you want to buy businesses? Do you want to uh, buy multifamily property? Are you looking to uh, retire soon? Are you following the fire method? Um, we talked about a lot. Have you looked at building your estate yet? What is it in your estate portfolio? Right? Have you looked at your estate portfolio? Have you looked at acquiring more assets? Have you worked on becoming an accredited investor? Do you have a plan for that? I have, just those questions of where are you at, right? Where are you at? So I wanted to. This may be controversial, and it may not. I want to start off with this morning about uh, things that are here around, and things that are actually true. I'm not ready to share my screen just yet, but um, why do y'all buy houses? I just want to know, why do you all buy houses? Right? Why do you buy a house to live in? I want to know what your thoughts are. And if you, from the stats, it says that we are not buying houses. We're not buying houses. We're not buying houses. So I want to know why you're not. I want to know what the issue is, or why you did. What was your why? And I'll give you my why. Um, I'll give you my why. I think it's a 15-second delay. Hold on. Mm, have a place to keep a place, all my stuff that I don't need. I got you. Any any other reason? No other reasons? Just a place to have your own. Okay, that's fine. Well, I'm gonna give you all my reasons. Yeah, all my reasons. Well, my reasons came to this. And, this is I hear this a lot. and not just in YouTube streets, but it's a well known fact that most black people are not buying homes. It's decreased, right? But I tell you my why. My why was, what were you saying, D? Oh yeah, yeah, I got it. My why was my why was, hey, let me go file my taxes, right? And this is a true story. So when I moved to Florida, I stayed in an apartment, and I was like, oh man, um, after about a year, there no, after about a year, yeah, about oh no, about 2 years, going into the second year, the rent was going from 1,500, because you get a moving special, and it was going up to 1,850, and I was like, 1,850, that's an awful lot for an apartment, for a 2 bedroom apartment. 1,850. I was like, this is almost DC prices, and you don't have valet trash, and you don't have a Starbucks in there, and I can't go downstairs and get Starbucks. I can't get a muffin in the morning on my way to work. I can't run over here and get hot chocolate. I can't get none of that. You don't even have no perks, right? And then the next thing was, when I went to file my taxes, because of the amount of money that I was making, I had to pay Uncle Sam. Um, the first year was 7,000, right, and the next year was 10,000. So when people say, like, and this, I'm strictly, and when I say the statement, I'm really talking to both, but really I'm talking to women on this one, because they say, I hear this all the time, when they say that, your money doesn't matter, or you having a house influences you, or for influence doesn't make a guy want to date you or whatnot. That right there is um, not the issue. The issue is, if you're being financially responsible to yourself and to your future, you would need some type of asset to invest in. So if you bought a house to live in, or you even bought a house to um, counteract on that tax, something as a write-off, right? That would be super important. So, um, and this goes for men too. Um, People say the house that you live in is not an asset, because it's not income producing. But if you bought a duplex, and you rent out the other side, or say you even bought a house and you do house hacking, and and a lot of people do this, especially in the DMV area. They'll buy those 600,000-700,000 dollar townhomes, but there'll be 3 or 4 different people living in those townhomes, and they'll be charging you anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 a month per room, and you may not even get a private bathroom. You may be sharing a bathroom with somebody, right? So again, you can slice that up how you want to on what you call an asset. Um, if you buy a home that's 120,000, and in 2 years it's worth 600,000. I don't know why you wouldn't call it an asset, but hey, that's just me. That's my way of thinking there. And all I'm simply saying is, if when you start increasing your W-2 income, because a lot of people are not 1099, you're going to have to find an ass somewhere to place that money, and that's just what it is. um, when you start looking at yourself from a business perspective, and you increase your 1099 income, then that'll be something totally different, because now you can have some tax write-offs, right? Uh, you can treat, well, if you get your car in your business name and so forth, you can treat it in your business. You can start having means, right? So, I'm just giving you different perspectives. So to not to deny not to deny the naysayers. The naysayers can say all they want, but I'm just giving you a perspective of like why you should buy certain things, right? Why you should be interested in buying a home or a multifamily unit or some type of asset that is going to appreciate over time. Or how does that structure? Because again, when you're at 200K and say you don't have any dependents and you don't own a home, how much do you think you're gonna get hit up in taxes? How much do you think you really gonna get hit up in taxes, and how much you gonna have to end up paying back? Hopefully you net zero, but you may not. And Uncle Sam might still hit you up for 2 or 3 thousand, right? 4,000, 5,000, it depends, right? So suppose you bonus. Suppose you're at 200K and you get a bonus that year, right? Or you're in sales and you're hitting bonuses, right? You're getting commission. Imagine how much you'll have to pay back if you don't have any assets, right? Or in this case, dependents. Some people have children, but I'm just really looking at it from a perspective of people that are making money and don't have any assets and are staying in apartments, and you don't have really anything that's appreciating over time. You have a car, it's depreciating unless you got a classic and you don't drive it much. You may have, just different things, but I'm just pointing out some things that you all can be doing. Um, yes, AMNA, yep, it's an investment that you can sell later. You can use it as rental property too. You can. Yeah. Tired of having the rental house sold by the landlord. Yeah, yeah. Engineering cannabis, yeah, you can have a party and a barbecue. Yeah. What's going on, Melissa Jane? Engineering campus, you said family or for friends, family for kids, and school, also schools investment in Fairfax. People are willing to shell out money for homes, for schools in that area, and they are willing to shell out money for schools and home in that area. And that's another thing too about that area. Uh, it is hard as a single person to buy a house in that area. And when I say hard, I'm looking at it from this perspective. If you look at the average size home in that area, it is usually around 3,000 to 3,500 square feet. And so the rationale there is, does it even make sense for you to get a house that big as a single person for you to maintain and clean it and keep the upkeep of it? So then you have to go back down, and now you're in the townhome status, which is a little bit more size wise is better for you. But then you got a neighbor to the left and a neighbor to the right, unless you got an in unit. Your yard is that big, you know. It, it lends. It to me. It still like apartment living to me, even though it's a townhome. I get it, it then depends on where the townhome is at and if it's new or if it's old, or then you got a HOA now you're looking at, and so now you're getting into that realm. And now some townhomes have parking garages and some don't. Some you're just pulling up, or now you're just parking in the parking lot like you're back in an apartment. Some got designated one. Then you may have one space for your section. You don't have two. Like, it's still though, it's still that, right? It's still that. It depends on where it's at. It depends on the location. Like, there's a lot of factors that goes into that. But in that area, in that DMV area, that's what I saw. Especially when you start getting into uh Alexandria, Old Town Alexandria, Kingstown, um, anything down Route One, townhomes. I mean, it's the same old same, right? So, those are some of the factors that I ran into, coming from like a DMV area, and then me looking to move to New York. The thing you run into is like, y'all call y'all call apartments condos. It's nice. It's a small space. It's you barely can breathe. You got yeah. This is just not my type of living when it comes to that. So those are things that these are things that to consider not only when you're buying a home, but also things to consider as you increase your income. And yep, Manhattan is no joke. 7,000 for 2 bedrooms. I just bought a new construction townhome in PG County. Eventually, it will become rental income. Once I build my custom. Yeah, I already know. I already know. Once you start trying to get bigger than 2,000, 2,100, 2,500 square feet, I won't even say about, let's say about 2,500, and you're a single person, and you start moving to 3,000, 3,500, 4,000 square feet for homes. And most of the homes, if you look at them, they be maybe 5 and 6 bedrooms. Like, I don't need that much space as a single person, right? And then the cost of the townhomes, you're talking 600, 700,000 if you're up in Chantilly, maybe even eight. Now they probably more like 1 million now. It was 700,000 in 2017, 2018, 2019. It was 700,000, right? With the elevator in them, 3 floors, rooftop, this, that, and another, 2 car garage. There was 700, 800,000, right? You put the elevator in there, it's 32,000, I think, for the elevator option, right? Now you got a house hack, right? Because now you're in it for 700,000. You know it's going to increase because Chantilly gonna always go up. You have to consider the development around you. Yep, parks, restaurant. Yeah, parks, restaurant, school, events. What events are going on around you? It's no People were notorious for in Grant Park for calling the cops on people for parking and blocking their driveways and so forth. Grant Park went through it in Atlanta when they started hosting and having events down there. They used to complain all the time about people in pretty much invading their space, right? Yep, 900,000. Yeah, well, it went up. It was 800. It's probably 900,000 now. Yep. So again, what I'm saying to you is this is what I'm saying to you is this: when you come into that 200,000 range and you don't have, really, let's back up, even at around about 130, and you don't have any asset to put your money into, then it's going to be a problem, right? It's going to be a problem. You're going to have issues with your taxes. If you don't have any dependents, hopefully you do that'll counter that. So that's a good thing. But if you don't, um, and someone is telling you not to buy a house or not to buy an asset, I'm telling you, don't listen to that because don't nobody do your taxes. And I'm telling you from a person who had to get their taxes done. So I'm just, you know, at that time, and they hit me with the, oh, so this is what you're doing, and you live in an apartment? Okay, cool. Give us a little bit more money. Thank you so much. You want to go on a payment plan? Okay, cool. Right. Stacey G said, yes, so true. People starting to complain about parking in neighborhoods too. Neighborhoods. So, yep, they start complaining, right? So, again, what's going on around there is important because people gonna pull up and park, right? They're gonna pull up and park and walk. That's just what people do, right? Especially when you don't have no designated parking for them or nothing like that. All right, so let's get into the show today. I really wanted to say that. I told D it may be a little controversial because I always hear this stuff in different spaces about a woman having a house doesn't matter, and it's an issue, and I'm giving you a different perspective of why it matters. uh, because when I hear that, and this is my own opinion. This is not a reflection on D. When I hear that, that comes from somebody who don't make a lot of money, and then they have to pay them taxes back. That's my perspective on that. Don't make a lot of money, you hadn't had to pay them taxes back. When you had to pay them taxes back, you hurry up and get your ass out there and you go find you an asset to invest in. That's just my own personal opinion. I'm sure that's gonna get chopped up and we'll get some bullets in the comments or whatnot. But I'm not here to massage your ego or make you feel comfortable. I'm just here to tell you the truth about why, if you were making enough money, you should be at least investing in some type of real estate or some type of asset that's going to be appreciating. Um, but I'm not also not gonna be the one to tell you not to buy a house or a condo, whatever it is that you choose. Buy something so you don't get hit with the tax man. Yep, the tax man will pull up quick and hit you upside your head. You're absolutely correct. That's just my honest opinion. And I'm not talking about buying a car because they don't care nothing about that car. But that house and a tax credit, unless you buy an electric car, let me take that back. You get 7,500 on an electric car. Let me take that back. You do get that. You do get that 7,500 tax credit on an electric car, right? But you can't put solar panels on apartments, right? So you can't get that credit. So you can't get that credit. So just little things like that. You all start being more aware of tax planning and tax strategies. Congratulations, Stacey G, on your first home. Yeah, and I'm just these are just true things. People would tell you all these different things about stuff, and but the reality is when you have to start paying this stuff back and looking for tax shelters, and you're wondering like, hey, you're making 150,000, you live in an apartment, you go to do your taxes, and then Uncle Sam says thank you, you still owe us 3,500, and then you're paying rent that's 2,500. Your car is five to 700, depending on what kind of car you went and got. I think now the average car cost now is what, 650 for a new car. That's the average monthly note. I don't know too many people paying 2,500 a month and not having additional income coming in that has 50 to 70,000 dollars set aside, not in their 401k to go purchase a car, right? So you could take that loan out from your 401k and then go purchase that car, but now you're depreciating how much money is working for you in your 401k. So you know, that becomes a factor, and but then you pay yourself back, of course, at 5% because you take that loan out, but now you can only take out two loans in a year, and you want to go buy a house. Well, you took out 50 to go do something else, right? And you see a house and you like, oh snap, I should have wanted got a house, or you didn't think about it, whatever the case may be. Now you want to go buy a house, so now you really don't have enough to get a down payment. Then some people don't have that much sitting in their 401k where they can go take out 50 or 60 thousand dollars. Some of you are just getting started, right? So you're at a crux of what you can do and what you can't do, right? So I'm just giving you the things that I know I went through, and things that I looked at in order to acquire an asset. You look at it how you want to, um, and go from there, right? At least something that provides a tax shelter, something, right? Miss Phoenix, thank you for coming to the channel. We appreciate your super chat, supporting the gym on the channel. Thank you, Data Christian. Thank you for becoming a member. We appreciate you. I'm so sorry. We appreciate you. Imagine 300K with no assets. Yep, the tax man will eat you up. right? We're not even talking about the taxes that you pay out just from making that money. I'm talking about at the end of the year when they start saying, well, do you use your home for, do you use your home to work out? No, I go in the office. Oh, so you don't use, nah, mm-mm. So we can't claim the internet, nothing. No, no, no. I go in the office. I'm in the office. Oh, okay. All right. So do you have do you do anything 1099? And do you use your car for the business or gas or something? No, I don't have nothing 1099. I don't have anything. I just go to work. And you make a lot of money. 300,000 is a lot of money. Oh yeah, I know. Okay, well, we don't have nothing to claim here. So, did you donate anything to charity? Yeah, I donated some stuff. Okay, well, how much do you think you don't? Probably about 500,000. I mean, $500 worth. Oh, okay. Well, let's put that down. That brought your tax bit down from 4,000 to 3,500. Okay. Do you have it? Can we bump that up a little bit? Let's say I donated $1,000. And then it started clicking in your head. You start clicking. You like, hmm. Well, they said I'm undesirable if I have a house. That's what they keep telling me out here in these YouTube streets. That's what they say. Ain't that what they say, D? I'm undesirable, right? In these YouTube streets, I'm undesirable. Oh, she has a house. Oh, she's undesirable. And then you go to the tax man, and the tax man says you're undesirable and you owe us. And you owe us. And then you sit up there and you say to yourself, maybe I should buy a home. But you don't do it. You keep listening to whatever. And then you go back the next year and your income has increased. Because over here at Women in Lineage, we tell you to add a skill. So you add a skill and you increase your income. So now you go from 300, you negotiated, you got a $50,000 sign on bonus, right? And negotiated and you move from 300 to say, uh, let's say you move from 300 to 375, and you got a $50,000 sign on bonus, and you have no assets, and you got a $50,000 sign on bonus, and the company that you work for also gives you a 20% bonus every year. So you get a $50,000. Remember now you was already making 300. Now move from 300 to 350 plus a sign on bonus. I mean 375 plus a sign on bonus of 50,000 plus 20% on a bonus. Oh, and FYI, they don't have a HSA. They have a FSA. Oh, and guess what? They don't have no 401k. So you'll have nowhere to go throw off money. Do you really think that you're not gonna owe in taxes? Do you really think that you're not gonna have to pay out some? You better get your ass up and go find you a tax shelter. I'm just being honest with you. Nobody else is gonna tell you these things. People gonna tell you that you that that this don't first off they're gonna tell you you're a black woman, you don't make that. So I'm just giving you the opposite of all these things that people say. And I'm telling you to go find and buy you an asset. Go create you an LLC. Go do 1099 work. Go buy you a house. Go buy a commercial property or a multifamily unit or storage unit. I don't care where it goes. I am telling you, you will get hit upside the head with that tax, because now you moved into a whole new tax bracket, because that 375 plus that 50,000 sign on bonus. Now from the Uncle Sam perspective for that year, that additional income looks like 420. Plus you get a bonus, right? Plus you get a bonus. It don't that bone even though you get that, even though that sign on bonus is gonna be cut in half, it's just gonna swack it in half. You're gonna get $25,000. You are going to be in a different tax bracket. I think the other day I was talking to a guy and he said the bottom end of the 1% is 421,000, right? So now you're in the bottom half of the 1% at 425,000 for the year, which is I think is it 37.5 for that tax bracket, or is it 40%? Um, see tax bracket for 2021. I think it's 37 and a half. Let me look. That's 2021, 2022. Yeah. 35%. You'd be at 35%, right? 35%. But you also earn, well, depending on how long you stayed in that job, how long you were there for that first 300,000. So you need to add part of that too, right? Why you laughing, D? Oh, so yeah, yep, plus bonus, yeah, right. And you got to add part of that other 300,000. You need to add part of that on over there too. So you might be around the 539 range that I'm looking at here. And so it says 49,300 plus 35% of the amount over 215,000. So you you and you in an apartment still, you don't have no assets. You just living it up. You Uber Eats every day, you DoorDash, killing the game. You out, you in Bali, still using your own personal credit card to go to Bali. No business. It's not a business expense. Just giving you that. All right. So that's from my perspective. I'm sure that's going to be some pushback on that. Uh, that you're telling that you're going to keep black women single with that philosophy. I've heard it before. I'm just giving you the perspective of this. When you start as a single woman, even and as a single man, this happens to you as a single man too. You just because you make 200,000 and a man, that don't mean you get less tax. You're in a different tax. It's for both, right? You are going to face that, so get prepared, right? I'm just giving you that for my honest opinion, my own experience. That's my own experience. It's my own experience, right? With no kids, no dependents, and you're making that type of money, the tax man will come hit you up. And you don't have that, you can do either one or two things. You can set up a payment plan, which they charge interest on that, or you can pay that out of pocket. So you figure out how you gonna do it. You figure out how you gonna do it. You either pay out of pocket, or take another loan out from your 401k to pay it off, or you gonna set up a payment plan, right? No one likes to give. I don't know if you like me. I get this from my mom. If I owe $10,000, I don't want to give it to him. Let me hold off. Let me give him a little something. Let me put 2,000 on it. Just bring it down some. Just change the 10 to an 8. But again, I'm just saying, just you all have to be cognizant of what you hear and what these tax brackets are, and how does that look for you. Start talking to. I'm gonna say I think I'm gonna push more. Start talking to people that do tax planning versus people who do versus a CPA. I think I'm gonna start telling y'all to go there. Uh, for people that do tax strategies and stuff. And I gave you the website last week on people who can help you with tax planning. I think you should start talking to them. Had I known about them before, I would have started there. Because again, those certain CPAs don't know about the different tax strategies you can be involved in. So just sit down and do a consultation with somebody who's doing a tax strategy, right? Or I mean, who's an enrolled agent, and just look, I'm at this income and I want to get my tax. I know that I don't have any assets. What can I do before the end of the year before that happens, right? What's going on, Alpha Cybersecurity Engineering Academy? You said if anyone have any pushback on keep funds in your pocket, avoiding the tax man, ask that person for their tax returns. I'm just giving y'all the honest truth, right? The honest truth. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I see it all the time. You're gonna die alone and whatever, whatever. But I'm not gonna go down that route, because then if we go down that route, we'll be talking about that forever. All I'm telling you is, men and women both, go buy some assets, go protect yourself, go protect your money, start looking at tax strategies, start doing tax planning, um, um, start talking to enrolled agents, and start talking to people about what your options are. If you don't have any kids, or if you don't plan on getting married, or whatever your situation is, you don't want to get back in the dating game, or whatever the case may be, just make sure that you are doing what you're supposed to do for protection purposes. Whether you're setting up estates, whether you're going to do whatever that retirement looks like, whatever that is, right? And it's just my own take on that, right? It's my own take. What's going on, NC worker? How you doing? Right? And people tell you stuff differently. All right, that's my controversial talk for today. We're not ending the live stream. That's just my controversial talk for today. I did 47. Well, I did probably 40 minutes, about 42 minutes of it. Right. I hope you got something out of it. That, like they say, um, what they say, chew the meat off the bone, spit out the bone. Something. What they say, whatever. Take the facts. Do your own research. You don't have to listen to me. What is it? What is it? Chew the meat off the bone. Something, something. Spit it out. Whatever. Whatever. Look it up. Yes, you don't have to listen to me. Look it up. Just go get you an account on what's the online account stuff, D? What's the online tax stuff that you can use? Yeah, eat the meat, spit out the bones. What's the online tax thing people use now? What's the name of that? Tax Turbo and whatever else, right? Go. In fact, you don't even have to do that. Go get you a 1040 form, and get you a 1040 form and fill out the 1040 form and see what your tax is gonna look like for the year. And see if you living in an apartment, or you staying at home with your parents until you get to where you need to be, and you making 130,000. You don't have no assets, you just got that car. And see what your tax is, especially those that are making 150, 200,000, 250,000, and you're in an apartment. You see what happens. I don't have to lie to you. You can go look it up on the 1040 form. You can do that for yourself. You don't need nobody to do that for you. All right. So since we talked about 1040 forms, I'm gonna drop this. I'm gonna play this, and and then we're gonna talk about something really different today. Uh, and we're gonna get into it. So I'm gonna pull this over. I said 1040, and now we're gonna talk about 1041s. I don't know if y'all are familiar with 1041s. You welcome. You welcome. You welcome, Stacey. So we're gonna talk about 1041s, trust and foundations. I'm not gonna do a deep dive into this per se. I'm just gonna touch on it. I'm still putting together the research myself. I am still putting things together to really bring it home. But I just want you to be aware of this, um, because it's gonna. I'll give you a background. Remember when I told you to look at yourself as a business? Type of one in the chat if you still with us. But remember when I told you all to look at yourself as a business, right? And I said to y'all, when you look at yourself as a business, you have to start thinking about your skill sets. What are the things that you can do? How are you making? How are you going to make money? And how are you going to protect um, yourself tax wise? And then how are you going to make yourself? You talking about last week? I did tell you every week to look at yourself as a business. So let me say this. So I had a meeting this week with an EA, uh, enrolled agent, right? And I was talking about some upcoming things that I'm working on and what kind of um, income that's going to yield, and I'm trying to make sure I protect myself. This is the other side of conversations that people don't tell you, that don't talk about scouting people, how to scout people, how do you trust what this person is saying, right? And so forth. So, long story short, we're gonna get into some things. So we started talking about 1041, right? Trust and foundations. But one of the things, and I got it in my notes right here, that he stated was, and I tell my people to look at yourself as a business. But let me tell you what he said to me. He said, looking at yourself as a business is just the first part of it. He was like, you all still have a long way to go, right? I said, I agree. And he also said, yep. He also said, he also said, the other part of this, he said, um, the other part of this, he said was, and it's not us when I say that, but just 60 to 70% of Americans have been trained to look at themselves as W-2, right? So you have to retrain yourself from W-2 to 1099 and then beyond. So one of the statements he made was, and I'm looking for it, hold on. It is where I wrote it down. Oh, he said one of the statements that he made was this. He said, when you're looking at yourself as a business, take it one step further and he said, don't personalize your wealth, institutionalize your wealth. Your W-2 is your personal wealth. Your 1040 is your personal wealth. Your 1041 is your institutionalized of your wealth. All right. And he also told me to tell you all, he kept calling you all my children. He said, those are your children. You need to handle them with care. You need to handle them with care. You need to make sure that you're the loving parent that you're supposed to be. He said, these are your children. And I was like, no, them grown adults living in different remote cities. I can't claim them on my taxes. I like them grown ass men and women. I can't claim y'all on my taxes. He's like, no, that's your children. These are your children. And as a mother to those children, you want them to flourish. You must give them what they need. You must make sure that they are out here equipped. And I was like, look, I don't know what you own, but them are not my children. So I won't call y'all my children. I think that's kind of disrespectful to me to call you my children, right? It's just me. That's my own personal thoughts. You know, I want to call people, you are my children. You are my children. I don't have no kids. And ain't no adoption papers out there with Adrian Nash name on it, H Girl 21, Coda Evelyn, Stacy G, engineer. And there are no forms out there with your names on it saying I'm your mama. uh-uh. No way, Jose. But yeah, so one of the things that we did talk about, I see. I gotta scroll back up. Who said it? 1041s include the Schedule K ones, correct? Yeah, I have that since I have 5% interest in my daughter's corporation. Yep, 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 yep. So I'm gonna let this video play, and I'm gonna just uh, go through a book that I had that I found just to give a little more insight. Like I said, I am not the enrolled agent here. I am not the tax professional. I'm just doing my research. But what I am telling you as I go through my research and my experiences that I'm sharing with you, I'm sharing with you things that I find that can help you out. Again, do your due diligence. This is not uh this is not financial advice. These are things that I discovered. But as you can see, someone already has it implemented, and I'm just giving you what I find and things that I'm more than likely going to have to do. But again, what do you take? How what's your elevation for your 1099 income, right? And another thing we talked about was I brought up I was like, so, with estate planning, if you set up an estate and I say I got some property and then I get married, I got some property that's not doing nothing. I'm like, hey babe, instead of going out and buying something, let's just use this property over here, right? And so I said, now we're co-mingling assets from the trust into the marriage, even though I had that set up before I got married. And so that person who you're married to now you've given them the option to say something happened in divorce or what have you. You've given them the option to go after anything in your estate portfolio because you're co-mingling assets. So I asked the question, does this still apply in this 1041 situation? He's like, no, because in this case, and you're not the owner, the institution is the owner, right? As long as you don't personalize your wealth, you when you personalize your wealth, then that leaves room for people to come after it. When you institutionalize your wealth, you're going after an institution. It's not owned by you. It's owned by the institution. Yep. Get the switch for the children in the YouTube streets and soap in their mouths. Get on, like my grandmama say, get on in there and take your bath. I'm gonna put a cap full of bleach in there. I'm gonna put a little cap full of bleach in that water. You're like, cap full of bleach? I don't know. If you grew, we ran out of soap. I ain't gonna never forget this. And my mom was like, not my mom, my grandma was like, get in the bathtub. I'm gonna put some Tide in there. Just wash your body in that Tide. Oh, you wash it. You gonna take a bath, a Tide bath? I don't know. I don't know. See, back in the day, growing up, did y'all ever run out of tissue? Did y'all ever run out of tissue and your mama tell you to go to your Nike box and get the paper out of the Nike box or newspaper and rub it together to clean your butt till they went to the store? Yeah, I ain't never did that. I'm just telling you, like, people be like, why are people running to the store to get the to get to get the toilet paper? Cause don't nobody want to wipe their butt with the Nike box stuff and the tissue. I mean, and the newspaper. Don't nobody want to do that. Yep, cap full of bleach. You boil water on the stove. You put bleach in the water on the stove, and then you put your dishes out, and then you take that boiling water and that bleach and you pour it all over your dishes. Y'all ain't never did that. Y'all ain't never seen your grandparents do that. Hey, let's just give me your stuff. You seen the Nike, but not tissue. Yeah, you take the tissue out, and you get it. You got to get it soft. And you take it, right, and you do like this. You gotta rub it together. Rub it together. Once you rub it together and get it soft, then it's ready to use. That's newspaper and the little stuffings inside there. Yep. Struggle innovation. Yeah, the dishwashing liquid bath. I had dishwashing liquid bath with a cap full of bleach and Tide. And Tide, yeah. Rub it together. Survival skills. Hey man, look, let me tell you something, right? Hey, my grandmother was old, so she was a sharecropper, so she gonna make a way out of anything. If she don't believe in no frozen vegetables, you gonna go to the store, we're gonna get them from straight fresh from the curb market. Used to Now I think it's called the municipal market in Atlanta. Used to be called the curb market because it's on the curb. But hey, it is what it is. All right, so let's get into this video. When I was a broke college student, I took tissue paper from the bar. Hey, no leaves. What is leaves, Dion? What do you mean, no leaves? I don't know what you mean about that. No leaves. Oh, I gotta look at it over here because it'd be a delay on StreamYard. Plant leaves from outside. Oh hell no! I'm not going outside to get no leaves to wipe. We ain't doing that. We want no leaves. It wasn't nothing outside but rock and dirt. All right, so let's hit it. Start it over from the very beginning. Let me expand this page here. All right, so the video is only 3 minutes long. It's pretty fast, but it's actual a depiction. So I think you all will enjoy the depiction. All right, so D, you ready to put it on screen? All right, let's go.
Meet Craig. Craig is a very smart and hardworking businessman and has built a solid business that generates good income and employs lots of people. Also, in his spare time, Craig has made a few savvy real estate investments that have appreciated in value and even pays him a nice positive cash flow every month. But there's a problem. Even with all of his success, Craig is concerned that he isn't doing all he can to build, manage, and preserve his money to provide for himself and his family. You see, Craig has been having little nagging questions that keep him up at night. Questions like, is he paying more in taxes than he needs to? Is he properly preserving his wealth so he can leave money for his kids and grandkids? Can he afford to support causes that he believes in without sacrificing his lifestyle or his family's future? Like so many people, Craig realized he didn't know what he didn't know. So he met with one of the wealth strategy managers at Kelstar Consulting. The Kelstar advisor met with Craig and discussed an extremely beneficial but little-known wealth strategy using a private family foundation trust. Craig learned that if he created a private family foundation charity in the form of a trust, he could donate up to 30% of his personal income to his charity as a tax deductible contribution. That's 30% of his income, tax free. And as the trustee of his foundation, Craig would maintain control of the money and how it is spent and invested. Also, Craig learned that his friends, family, other business, as well as his own company can make charitable donations to his foundation and take a tax deduction for the contribution. And if that wasn't enough, Craig was blown away when the CalSTAR advisor explained the benefits of a private family foundation on his real estate holdings. Craig learned that all properties transferred to or purchased by the foundation pay no real estate taxes or fees, no income taxes, no sales tax, no capital gains tax, and have no 1031 exchange limit. Craig was very happy to have finally found a company like CalSTAR Consulting that could explain financial strategies used by the wealthiest 1% of Americans to the average person in a simple, straightforward, and easy to understand way. But more importantly, Craig was relieved to get rid of those little nagging questions that were keeping him up at night, because he now knows that he is building, managing, and preserving his family's name and wealth properly and creating a legacy that will support causes that his family believes in well into the future. Just like Craig, you too can put in place a wealth strategy using a private family foundation to protect and secure your loved one's future today. Feel free to schedule a free 30-minute consultation with one of our advisors.
So that was part of my talk this week. Would y'all want me? Do you want me to play this again? So the two forms I'm gonna give you to go look up for yourself. It's the 1041 form. And on that form, you want to look up complex strategies. The next thing you want to look up is the 990-PF, which is the private foundation. Those are the two that you're going to need. And I'm just going to tell you to go look them up. Go find you someone who is a enrolled agent, um, and a wealth strategist, and talk to them. Those of you that are buying houses, that are buying, because one of the part of the conversations that I thought was crazy, that I've always thought was crazy, um was the fact that the D is 990-PF private foundation. The one thing that I thought was always crazy is with the 1031 exchange is every time you buy something in that 1031 exchange, you can never take, when you sell it, you can never take that money out. You just have to keep it in there until you die, right? You just have to keep moving in there until you die. So you're only limited and bounded by what that 1031 exchange can do. And so that's why it was mentioned in this video that you don't have that limitation and that bound by that 1031 exchange. Did y'all get everything out of what he said in there? Did you know? I'm gonna go through it again because I don't think you probably caught everything in there. Um, I know you didn't, because I'm gonna come back to it. We'll play it. I'll play it again. Right, I play it again. I actually got several videos on this. As you can see, I've been going down the line of this. Over here, you can look at on my thing. You can see private foundations. What are they? I've been going down the line on that. So, but what I did was I went and found this book, because I was curious about it. Right, the tax law of private foundations, by Bruce R. Hopkins and Jody, I guess Blazek. I haven't finished reading this yet, but I was looking at the chapter breakdown here, and is introduction to private foundations, starting, funding and governing a private foundation, the different types of private foundations, right? The different types of private foundations, the disqualified persons, self-dealing. You is from that presentation what I got out about self-dealing and how to basically with a private foundation. Basically, long story short, I have my trust and in my foundation. I have my 1099 income that comes in. If my trust owes anything, that money is then taken out. Say I got $300,000 coming in, right? And on my 1099, and my trust has something that it needs to pay for, it gets paid for. If or my foundation has something to get paid for, it gets paid for. If my trust needs something that it needs to get paid for, it gets paid for. And then out of that, I could then loan myself money back out to me, and as out of the trust. Let me clarify that. Out of the trust, out of the entity. Loan that back out to me, to go and purchase. And everything is done through the trust to go purchase whatever I need to, right? But everything will be falling under that trust. My charitable contributions, I'm really donating to the private foundation of under my I guess you could say my foundation or my entity. Basically, you become your own bank. If you want to look at that as infinite banking, but now you're just looping everything around. Natasha, thank you for stopping by. Right. So I'm gonna go through this book, and I got some other things that I want to share with you. But again, I keep trying to tell you, your first mindset shift is if you are going to make the W-2 money great, you're going to need to buy assets. And if you are going to buy assets, you all need to start thinking about estate planning. You need to start thinking about trust. You need to start thinking about ways to protect, and come up with tax strategies. I think I'm going to start pushing enrolled agents on you all, so y'all can start thinking about tax strategies. Um, and then the other side of that is if you're going to do this 1099 on top of your that 200K, and you're buying assets, and say you start working on the side or whatever, you're consulting, whatever the case may be, whatever that looks like. um, how are you going to make that 1099 work for you, that business, whatever the case may be? This is just one option. I'm not telling you to do this. This is not financial advice. I'm just giving you things that I discover along the lines. And I had this conversation with you all last week. And so I'm going to go back to this conversation today. So you are in a capacity where you're in W-2 income, and let's just say your W-2 income is two, three, four, 500,000. You then max out your 401k, which is nothing but 20,500 right now. Say you have a backdoor, say you got a Roth 401k. Some people have Roth, some people got just a regular 401k, so either or, right? But just to say, let's go with you don't have a Roth at all. If you just got a regular 401k, you 20 20 80, you still got a whole bunch of money that still need to be, you still need to do something with it. And you didn't create an LLC, so you're going buying houses in your own name, but you need to create an LLC to go buy houses in a business name. But you still are, there's still some tax strategies that you're missing out on even with that. So here's another aspect. You got a Roth 401k. You max out the contributions on your Roth 401k, and on the Roth side, and then on the pre-tax and tax side, let's say it that way, pre-tax and tax side. And you were able to do a backdoor IRA where you can contribute 6,000 into that. So now you're contributing 6,000 over there. So you're really getting in about 26,500 over there, on the max. And remember, if you are overemployed or what have you, you can your 401k max, and say you're contributing to those 401k, your 401k max goes across all those 401ks. So now you got to do the balancing act of how to manage those 401ks and max them out, right, at the same time, right? I mean, and max them out, when I say max them out, meaning the max is across that 2,500, that 20,500 is across all those 401ks. All right, cool, right? Now, uh, the next thing up is, now you're talking about, well, I need to go. I need to go buy. I still need to go buy this asset. Okay, you go buy that asset, but how are you going to buy that asset, right? How what establishment is going to go buy the asset? That's something else. Now the next thing after that is, because you're like, okay, I gotta pump money into something, right? You don't have no dependents. You're not married, so you can't claim this spouse or whatever on your taxes. You don't have no kids. You're not adopting anybody, so forth. So you're just sitting here with all this money, and Uncle Sam is like, "We love you. You are my child, right? You are my child." All right. So, but again, when you're looking at this, I want you to be looking at yourself to saying, okay, well, maybe I need to really start looking at myself as a business, and what does that look like on my 1099 side? So now you get a house, it's income producing, it's a short term rental, it's Airbnb, it's a corporate rental, you're doing some things, you're moving and grooving, you're going to the meetups, you're meeting with people, you're looking at other houses, you're getting in the groove of things, and now all of a sudden in your LLC, you've acquired at least 4 or 5 different properties, and it's income producing. You're rolling through. You're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm making moves. This, that, and another. I done got with a CPA. This, that, and another. Tax bill come up. You're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Wait, wait. This CPA ain't working. I'm on still, right? So you need to. I'm just saying, the more money you make, the IRAs, the 401ks, the Roths, it's not enough. It's not enough to cover you. And then, in fact, the more you're on that W-2 side, you got to be like, well, shit, damn, here's some money into IUL. I'm gonna go do a whole life policy. I'm gonna throw some money over there. Throw that over there. Throw that thing over there, and throw it over here, and throw it over there. And there you're like, well, that's gotta wait some time to accumulate. I can take some money off of it, right? I can get a loan from it, right? I could do that, but now I'm still in this situation where I got this money sitting around. So I'm just telling you this from a person that's gone through it. These are just things that come up. Like, okay, take a step back, pause for a minute, sit back, and then look at what is what are my options, and what who can I turn to? That's the first thing, right? Who can you trust? Who is going to give you the information? You're going to have to do some due diligence for yourself and reading. Take it. I really literally went and read the forms the other night, the 990, the 10. I may even have it on here on this episode on my listing. If not, I have it in. I have it downloaded, um, or whatnot. But either way it go, I just want to put that out there for you all, so y'all can start doing your own research, so you can start having financial wealth and health conversations amongst each other, where you're okay to talk about your 5 million, 10 million, 15 million, $50 million plan, where you're okay to have a discussion about complex strategies and private foundations, where you're okay to talk about, hey, I invested in a whole life, and I went out and bought me a Cartier watch, or I went and bought a Rolex watch, or I took 25,000 and I went from my from my trust. That's why we made the shirt. I got it out the trust. I got it out the foundation. I it's out of my own situation, right? Right. And then I've been doing research on family offices and stuff like that. So I really have to sit down and put that together for binary hustlers because it's just so much. It's a lot. But nevertheless, we're here. Focus here. Focus. Get back in here, Dan. We're here. Um, it's a lot. So um, do all you can to build your wealth and protect your wealth tax wise. I'm not worried about people. I'm worried about the IRS. We already saw how much money the IRS is going to start coming after people. They arming 80 billion. They coming and they armed. They ready, right? They armed and they ready. Want to be natural? How you doing? All right. So what else is in this book? Mandatory distributions, excess building holdings, jeopardizing investments, taxable expenditures, tax on investment income, unrelated business activity, tax and compliance and administrative issues, termination of foundation status, charitable giving rules, and private foundations and public charities. Um, I was looking into that as well too, and we're gonna come up and yeah. I gotta do the family office here, but I'm gonna come up and we're gonna have to talk about that a little bit more. Donor advised funds. So in your foundation, other people can donate to your foundation as well too, right? Other people can donate to your foundation. Um, so much. Table of cases, the IRS rulings and revenue procedures, and you can see I was reading. You see where I was at. Let me read these IRS rules here and what in 2022 what you're talking about, and these new tax and these new funding bills, these new bills that are coming out. You need to read about what the tax implications are. What can you do and what can't you do? What happened? When is things supposed to expire? What's going on? All of that, right? The table of IRS private determination cited in text, the private letter rulings, technical advice memoranda. Like this is the stuff I want to. This is the book I'm reading on this. Right. This is the book I'm reading on this. So I got another video that I want to bring over. This is on a form on what the 990 PFF is and what it does. And let me pull this guy up. I thought he was easy to follow. So hold on, let me get
Private
him.
foundations are a
Hold
unique
on.
class.
Let me get him over here. Do. And drop a one in the comment if it makes if what I'm talking about even sounds like it makes sense to you. Drop a two if you're confused. Drop a three if you're like, we don't even like this. Get back to the tech stocks and jobs, the original, the OG stuff. But let me know, right? Let me know if what we bring to you every week you find it valuable or you don't like it. Leave comments under the channel, or you're like, hey, this don't make sense. I don't know why you're talking about this. Um, let us know, right? Again, I'm not your mama. I do want to make sure that we get information to you so that you all can feel like you are armed with some knowledge. You have at least a plan or at least an idea of what you can do. Right? Again, seek an enroll agent. Seek someone that can help you on this. Right? All right. So let's get into the video. Let me widescreen this.
As a 501c3 organization, so unique in fact that they have their own exclusive version of IRS Form 990 called the Form 990 PF. Hi, I'm Greg McRae, CEO of Foundation Group, and in this video, we're going to examine just what makes IRS Form 990 PF so different from its counterparts. Well, like a lot of the other Form 990s that we've talked about, the 990 PF requires details about expenses and revenue by category. But because this is for private foundations only, these disclosures are really more concerning things that are in line with private foundations, which is different than what you would typically see with public charities. So from a financial standpoint, what you see is you see a lot of focus on things like investments, endowments, earnings, and capital gains. So it's a little bit different than the typical donation or program service revenue type disclosures that you see with a public charity. Now, people still donate to private foundations, so it's not like that information's not there. But what you do see is a disproportionate share of attention paid to things revolving around endowments or investments. You also see something called a calculation of an excise tax on capital gains or investment earnings. That's also something, that small excise tax is something that you do not see public charities pay. Something else that is unique about private foundations and 990 PF is disclosure revolving around disqualified persons. Now, a disqualified person is someone the IRS considers to be an insider, such as a board member, a key employee, maybe a large contributor, or family member of the same. These people can usually easily be paid as an employee of a public charity, assuming that the right arm's length transactions are in place to get that person hired. In a private foundation, because you often have such a related board, it's not so easy. It's able to be done, but it's got to be done for what the IRS calls personal services. And personal services are kind of misnamed, in my opinion. They really are more along the lines of professional services, such as accounting, investment advising, and so forth, maybe legal fees or legal services. But the IRS requires that to be both reasonable in pay, so not a large compensation amount there, but also necessary for the function of the organization. In other words, if the insider wasn't being paid to do it, somebody else would be. And getting those type situations wrong can result in some serious penalties and fines for the nonprofit if they are found to be paying insiders in particular that they should not be paying. And this is something, this type disclosure is very unique to the Form 990 PF compared to the other Form 990s. Something else that is quite a differentiation between a public charity and a private foundation is the requirement that a private foundation distribute 5% of its assets for a charitable purpose. Well, this is a calculation that has to happen every year, and it's not as straightforward as just taking a rough 5%. It's actually a fairly complex calculation where you determine the average investment value of the organization, what are the average asset valuations, and then take that over a year's time to determine what that distributable amount is. And that is based on a 5% number. Now, it usually comes out pretty close to a rough calculation, but it is a little more complicated than that. That has to be done every year. And for years that an organization gives more than the 5%, the amount above 5% can be carried forward to help offset other years for up to 5 tax years. Now, if you give less than the 5%, the amount that wasn't distributed, if it's not offset by a carryover from a prior year, can be subject to penalty. We've sort of ended each video about Form 990 talking about filing thresholds and due dates. Well, the same is true here as for the others with regard to the due date anyway. This return is due on the 15th of the 5th month following the end of the tax year. So again, if you are a December 31 year end, this is going to be due on May 15. Like the other Form 990s, this is also extendable by 6 months if you file a Form 8868 by that May 15 deadline. That'll give you an extra 6 months. Of course, if you have an off-calendar fiscal year, that 15th of the 5th month requirement will follow you. Now, here's what's very different from the other Form 990s. The filing thresholds are based on revenue. So a 990N versus a 990EZ versus a full long Form 990 are determined by gross revenue earnings of the organization. This is not true with private foundations. Private foundations are required to file a Form 990 PF each and every year, regardless of the amount of income. So in other words, you could have a year that it receives no donations, has no income of any kind, and in fact, the investments may have even taken a loss on the year, but the IRS is still going to require that Form 990 be filled out and completed and filed that year. Form 990 PF is a complex tax return. If you happen to read the IRS instructions, they estimate 33 hours of preparation time. Well, as the old saying goes, your results may vary. Needless to say, preparation is best left to the experts. So if your foundation needs help, call us. Our staff accountants know these returns inside and out, plus they're not going to need 33 hours to do it. Well, if you need more information, see our companion article on our website and others like it at 501c3.org. Thanks, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching our video.
What's funny about this is this private foundation is still a 501c3. That's what's really funny about it. All right. So your trust in your foundation. I gave you the forms 1041, and on that form is 9 different things on that form. You want to look at complex strategies, and then the other one is you want to look at the 990 PF when we start talking about private foundations. Those are that's your homework. Now, again, one of the things we did talk about was there's 80 different trusts out there, and there's 24 different foundations. This strategy, this complex strategy, complex strategy, and this private foundation are the only ones that work like this together. No other way, right? So, D, what you think? You think that was enough? You think that was good information? All right. So, look at my notes. Moving on. Got some other stuff. I wanted to get that out of the way. I have this one on here. We'll take a look at this one too. Let me see. We looked at that video. Well, I guess we can look at this one. Hold on, before we move on from this one, from the strategies and stuff.
This is Professor.
This is an old one. This guy has got he's got videos out there too, and they're like 5 years old. But he's talking about tax rules and stuff, but he's still around. He still answers comments because people have commented on it, on some of his stuff. But you can check his stuff out. And let's get going on here. Let's get going. Make this one bigger. Do y'all want me to turn off closed caption? Because I got closed caption turned on for maybe people who are looking and whatnot, and maybe going too fast. I can turn off closed captions. Was that getting in the way? I thought it was getting in the way. I turned it off. It's off on there. It's off on there.
Sir Russell James, coming to you from Texas Tech University. Welcome to today's lecture from Visual Plan Giving, an introduction to the law and taxation of charitable gift planning. Welcome to Private Foundations Part 3, Tax Rules. This is Professor Russell James. Once a private foundation has been successfully created, the primary guidelines for its operation come from federal tax law. Tax law affects private foundations indirectly through the deductibility of gifts and directly through taxation of investment income and levying of penalties for violations of IRS rules. Unlike other charitable entities, private foundations do pay taxes on net investment income and capital gains. However, this tax is relatively minimal, typically charged at the 2% rate. This 2% rate will drop to 1% if the foundation distributes charitable grants at least equal to its assets, multiplied by its average percentage payout for the last 5 years, or less if the foundation is not that old, plus 1% of its net investment income. For a private foundation intending to distribute the same percentage of assets in charitable grants as it had done over the previous 5 years, this rule means that the payment of 1% of net investment income can go either to the IRS by payment of the full 2% standard excise tax or to a public charity, thus reducing the IRS excise tax by 1% of net investment income. Although private foundations are not completely tax exempt, the burden of a 1% or 2% tax is relatively minimal. This tax is paid on net investment income and net capital gains. However, the tax is not paid on any unrelated business income, which is taxed at different rates. Net investment income allows for the reduction of gross investment income by any ordinary and necessary expenses incurred in generating the income, such as investment management fees, real estate management fees, or the share of officer or employee compensation related to investment and investment management. As discussed in the lecture on that topic, gifts to private foundations have lower income limitations for charitable deductions than do gifts to public charities. The highest 50% limitation is never available for deductions from gifts to private foundations, which are instead limited to 30% or 20% of adjusted gross income, slightly modified for individual taxpayers, and 10% of taxable income for corporations. Any deductions from charitable gifts in excess of the maximum percentage of the donor's income cannot be deducted in the year of the gift, but must instead be carried forward until such time as they can be used without causing the total deductions to exceed the relevant limitation. Carryover deductions that cannot be used in the 5 tax years following the year of the gift will expire. As discussed in a previous lecture, gifts that may be deducted up to 50% of all income are all gifts to public charities. Gifts to private foundations of cash, inventory, short-term capital gain, or ordinary income may be deducted up to 30% of the donor's income, with the remainder carried forward. Any gifts of long-term capital gain to a private foundation may be deducted only up to 20% of the donor's income, with the rest carried forward into future years. This is true regardless of whether or not the gift can be valued at fair market value or the lower of basis or fair market value.
Now, I want to stop right there. Who is on the screen? Who is on the screen? Whose foundation is on the screen? And guess who he hadn't said one name yet. It's just subliminal, right? Of who has something set up, how it's operating, and what is going on with it, right?
This has been Private Foundations Part 3, Tax Rules. Join us next time for Private Foundations Part 4, Insider Benefits. This is Professor.
The insider benefits is the one you want to really watch, because that's who you are. You're the insider benefits. All right. So shifting, right? I'll close these down because I can go and look at that all day. I still got that book to read. So yeah. All right. So what's going on this week in the world of IPOs? What we doing this week? So again, you can always go to NASDAQ IPO calendar, and you'll see who's IPOing for the week, what their ticker symbol is, what the price they're going in as, and the expected or the EX date, right? The EX date, right? You can look at companies and see which ones you're interested in. Go do your due diligence on those that play the stock market. Some people do long term. Some people like the IPOs. They do like a short run. And they'll put their money in and then pull out around about 2 or 3 o'clock when they see the candlesticks about to dip. They pull on out, take that capital gains and keep it pushing, right? Another one is when I bring this up, is the dividend calendar, right? So let's look at Thursday, right? Of August the 11th, and who paid out what dividend, right? And so normally I try to come here and see who paid the most out. So UAN CBR Partners LP paid a dividend out of $10. And they have an indicated annual dividend of $40. Their ticker symbol is UAN. UAN, right? So let me go over here and let's go to Yahoo. Click on finance. And let's go look at UAN. UAN 117, right? Let's look and see what they've done over, say, a year, 1 year period. At a high here, 173. They at 117. 117. Do they have a 5 year run? Yeah, they got a 5 year run. All right. Can I get it? Say 153. I don't know. It said 170. I thought it said 173 on the other one. 117. They're down here. Um, Let me see if they got any performance or nothing like that. Let me see. I wonder how long this company has been around. Company Outlook. Oh, thank you, Yahoo Plus. Historical data. Close high. Let me see. Okay, they dividends. August the 11th was 10.05, $10 and 5 cent. But what I wanted to find out what it was the year before. Let me see. Agricultural inputs. They're based out of Sugarland, Texas. Here are the execs that run that location or run that particular one. Let me see what else they got here. Their financials, their gross profit, so forth. So you come in and look at all their gross profit, everything. The EBTDA, EBITDA, some people say, and EBIT. Let me see, analysis. Yeah, they don't have that video. Earnings from 2019, 2020, so forth. So you can see here in 2020, they 48.5%. They were down for three. So they got a big jump there. Right? I don't know what happened with that. And I don't have no growth estimates or whatnot. But you take a look and see who they are, right? I come over here to dividends and see who's handing out dividends just to see uh, what what they're earning. Oh, it looks a little small on the screen. My bad. Hold on, let me blow that up. So, um, let me go back to dividend right here. This is the company I was talking about. 10.05. The next one was CBI with $3 in dividend. Again, you need to go check the aristocrats and the kings to see who's producing, right? 25 years and 50 years of dividend, increase in dividends over those years. And start making, if you want to make conservative investments that way, that's cool. Right now, I've been really focusing on Johnson and Johnson and Apple. I do ETFs as well too, but right now Johnson and Johnson and Apple have been returning me 28 to 30%. So I've been focusing on that. Johnson and Johnson has been always above 10 for me so far, 10%. So I'm just riding that thing out with Johnson and Johnson and Apple. Just it's an individual stock that I buy. And when I say individual stock, I'll do slices, right? $100 here, $10 there, $40 here. Just keep putting in DCA your way in. Just keep instead of going out and getting a drink, I do that. So I'm in Fundrise. I think D you're in ground floor. I looked at Arrive Homes. I didn't do any investment over there because I didn't see the value if unless I was putting in a lot of money. All right. Um, so that was that. So let's see. We'll close this one down. We'll close. Yeah, we'll close that down. Won't need that. All right. So then I found this article, right? Um, I got laid off by Microsoft after 3 months. of work. And now I'm scrambling for a new job to take care of my mom. And I found this article very interesting, and I'm probably gonna save this article for the next show. For Howie Lennox, but I found this article interesting. Um, she's a 25-year-old tech recruiter who started at Microsoft in May. She was laid off, and now she's looking for work. Right? She started working for the senior tech recruiter at Microsoft in May, but 4 months later, I have already lost my job to the latest round of tech layoffs sweeping the industry. And the reason why I was going to say this to the next show, because this goes back to I talk about these skills, right? And I'm really talking about technical skills, right? Yep, I'm really talking about technical skills. Hey Milad, Milad. I don't know why I said want to say Milad, minimalist. I want to talk about tech skills, right? I want to talk about your skills. Remember, I keep telling you the one reason why I tell y'all to gain a new skill every year and buy a new asset, as when you gain a new skill. So if something did come up, you have an income producing asset, or it's an asset that you can sell that you can actually live off of until something else comes around, right? Whether it's a house, whether it's a watch, or I don't care, whatever, right? Something that can actually produce some revenue for you to live off of, right? In case something happens. And that's not the only way, but that's just one way. You can live off your 401k. You can go and start putting money into different uh, different strategies, from whole life policies, insurance, whatever the case may be. But again, you got to remember what your lifestyle is. If your lifestyle is $5,000 a month, and you only can get out of your whole life insurance policy, you can only get a loan for up to 2,000. That ain't gonna work, right? That's not gonna be enough to carry you for that month, right? That's not gonna be enough to keep carry you for the month, right? So just keep that in mind when you're doing these strategies, right? How much do you need to live off on a monthly basis? And what I prefer dump ins. And there's a reason why I prefer dump ins. When I say dump ins, like into an IUL or a whole life policy, like, hey, if I do this IUL, my monthly expense is this. I'm gonna dump. My initial dump in is gonna be what my monthly expense is. So if something happens within the next 30 days or something like that, I can at least get up to a percentage of that. But I'm gonna continue to put in whatever my premium is or whatever, right? But at least I have the ability to do that. Now you're gonna have to do it that way. You can go leave it in a savings account if you want to, whatever, or you can have it on a credit card, right? Whatever the case may be. That's just my philosophy, right? I just want to be able to live off of something that my monthly expense, whatever my monthly expense is, I got something to fall back on somewhere, something to hold me tight for a month. Then that's just a month. You're supposed to have 6 months, but a lot of people can't do that, right? But a quick month, you may just have something just sitting there, like, oh, let me grab that, pay this, we done. I'm back in the saddle. All right. As a contractor at Microsoft, I had 18-month contract that was dependent on performance, but the layoff ended my contract more than a year early. The thing about layoffs is they can feel indiscriminate. You could be a great employee with exemplary performance, and you still could be affected. I think companies are trying to prepare a for a worst possible a worst Prepare for the worst, a possible upcoming recession. After the pandemic, many companies didn't recover the way they wanted to, and one way to adjust for that to perform layoffs. Just look at how many high-profile tech companies laid off: Better, Tesla, Robinhood, to Microsoft. It's becoming in on our industry to get laid off. I haven't heard people laying off security, infrastructure, and data scientists, AI, ML, data scientists, um, and infrastructure. I just haven't heard that. We had a discussion the other day about LM, Lockheed Martin, and people asking what they laying out. They like, no, we hiring. We need at least 100 to 200 more people. Yeah, we're hiring, right? When I realized I may be laid off, I immediately called my mom and we prayed. After, see, right here, I called my mom and we prayed together. That's that's great. I'm glad they did pray together. But I would like to know what if she had an execution plan, right? After an unfortunate health incident last year, I'm largely responsible for taking care of my mom, and I wanted her to know that no matter what happened, we would be taken care of. I don't care if I have to be a delivery driver or start Lyft or Uber rides. I'm going to make sure my mom doesn't go without. It helped for us to pray together. My faith is in God. It gives me hope. I know that God is going to see me through. It was easier for me to find work as a Microsoft contractor than a full-time employee. It's becoming more and more common for tech companies to rely on contractors. Hey, we just talked about public. We just talked about private foundations and trust, right? We just talked about that. Right? And as a person looking for a job, it's often easier to find contract work than full time work. But it's also difficult because you don't have the stability and the permanency of someone with a full time position. See, I should reach out to her and tell her she need to get multiple 1099 jobs. Girl, you looking at this the wrong way. See, this is a good example. This is a good example of what I'm talking about. That W-2 mindset versus 1099, because you're like, I gotta have the benefits. Well, you can go buy benefits, right? You gotta pay for them, but you can go buy them. So you get laid off, so now you don't have no benefits. And now you can't continue to pay for the benefits because you don't have no money to pay for the benefits out externally, Cobra, whatever. But positioning, right? I'm talking about positioning. I'm talking about putting things in place, so you don't have that worry. So you don't have that, right? I'm talking about what does it look like to get what other income could she have had? Should she be a recruiter for one company? Could she do recruiter for multiple companies? Could she set up a recruiting firm? What does that look like? She understands the game as a contractor. How can she expand it? How can she scale that? How does that look? What does that look like? Setting up a self IRA, having that money come out and take care of whatever expenses you have, right? Instead of paying it monthly, going to pay it for a year, right? In case something did happen, boom, they got that money off the rip. That sign on bonus that you get, instead of going buying something or paying off a bill, go buy an asset. Go buy something that's gonna help you in just in case, right? I see you saying keep your head on a swivel, but keep your skills on a swivel. Right? Um, I even found that when I interview for full-time jobs, they see that I was a contractor in the past and more inclined to hire me in that capacity. But it's really difficult to be a contractor because people don't realize have just contractors have just as much, if not more, experience than full-time employees. Shifting in mindset. You can do both. You can be W-2 and 1099. Let them hire you for 1099 and go find a permanent job. Keep both. I'm just saying. I'm a senior tech recruiter with 8 years of experience. So she's 20. 25 and she's got 8 years of experience when she was 13. Did I read that wrong? Ain't she 25? 25. 25 minus 8 is 13. So she been tech recruiting since 13? Am I crazy? Somebody drop it. Is my math off? She got 8 years? Something ain't right. There's something in this milk that is not clean. I'm just saying. That's what she said. I'm a senior recruiter. Maybe they just used her picture. 17? Okay, my math off. 17? My math is off. I don't know. And then talking about nap time, like 13? No, 17. But I'm just asking. 17? Tech recruiter? Hmm. I'm a senior tech recruiter with 8 years of experience who specializes in C-suite executive recruitment. But when the layoffs came, contractors often the first to go. To go. So here's the thing. She says she's a senior tech recruiter who specializes in C-suite. Right. So I have questions, and my questions are: as a tech recruiter who specializes in C-suite executive recruitment, what have you learned out of 8 years? What have you learned out of those 8 years? Meaning, like, when you're looking for C-suite individuals for other people, what characteristics are you looking for? What type of style? Like, I'm looking more for, she should have enough information to say, I can create an ebook on tech recruiting for C-suite and what they're looking for. I can go speak at conferences and engagements. I got a website, I got this, I got that, in order to say X, Y, and Z. Right? That's why I'm looking. That's why I'm talking. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about, again, how do you take your skills you have now and monetize them 1099? Now, let's do this 1099. She already been 1099. So monetizing them 1099 and selling them and resume review and putting it all together. That's what I would be thinking. All right. She said, I wish people understood that no matter how many or how few people are affected by layoff, it changes their lives. Some people may find a new job within a week, but other people may be out of work for months. After my last few experiences in the job market, I don't believe in company loyalty. I stopped believing in it because I know I'm just a number to the company I work for. Jaded, stabbed in the heart. Some people may find a new job within a week, but other people may be out of work for months. My last few years of experience in the job market, I don't believe in company loyalty. I stopped believing in it because I know I'm just a number to any company I work for. In previous generations, people were told to graduate college and get a job and then work there until you retire and cash out of their 401ks. But that's just not how it works anymore. If companies don't have loyalty to their employees, we shouldn't have any loyalty to them. I'm worried about my future, but I'm doing everything I can do to make sure it's secure. I want to get to the next opportunity as soon as possible so that my mom knows she's taken care of. And even though I'm worried, I do find peace in knowing that God has already laid out what my future will be and He won't lead me astray. What advice do you have for this young lady? Leave it in the chat section, drop in the comment section, and leave it below. I have a lot of advice. I have a lot of things I can say, but I think you all have learned exactly what I would say. I think you already know what the tapster is going to say. I think you know. I do. I think you know. I think you know already. I think you know. All right, so let me see. Mm-mm. See what else. I'll hold off on those. I'll hold off on that. That was the one I did. Okay, we'll do these last two and we'll end the show. She's only 25. She has a lifetime of work. There's no company loyalty. These companies are loyal to their bottom line. I am a Catholic God. Tell me hustle by any means. All right, let me pull this up right here. Let me get this over there real quick. Let me copy that. All right, 6 cities around the world where you can live on $1,000 a month or less. I feel that was appropriate after that conversation. All right, so 6 cities. Soaring inflation is forcing many people to look for other ways to reduce their income, meaning their expenses. Some may even consider moving to cheaper parts of the world. Insider has compiled the list of 6 cities where you can live for $1,000 or less per month. All right. As the cost of living sweeps across the globe, many people consider moving to cheaper parts of the world. Insider has compiled a list of 6 cities where you can live comfortably for $1,000 a month using the data from Numbeo, Numbeo, which provides a crowdsourced summary of cost of living in major cities across the world. The site provides a single person in each city. Hold on. The site provides the estimated monthly cost, living costs without rent for a single person in each city, and is also calculates two prices for one bedroom and one for those in the city center and those on the outskirts. It also has a separate index measuring quality of life, which it bases a formula that takes into account a number of other indices. These include purchasing power, cost of living, pollution, healthcare, safety, climate, traffic commute time, and house price price to income ratio. Right. So Buenos Aires, Argentina. You can live there in the city center for $730 a month. In Chile, Santiago, Chile. It says offers incredible panorama, I guess, views of the Andes, a cosmopolitan center, and a relative cheap cost of living. So it's no wonder about 35% of the country's population is in the capital. It also talks about the universities and says 1,000 in Santiago. 1,000 is enough to secure your apartment near the center and cover living costs. Bulgaria, Sofia, Bulgaria, is well known as a party destination, but the country has a lot more to offer. The beautiful cathedrals, churches, dramatic mountain surroundings, and extensive history. Uh, Numbeo indicated that quality of life in Bulgaria capital is comparable to Paris, but the cost of living is far cheaper in Sofia, and $1,000 a month being enough for your accommodations and living expenses. Turkey, Bursa, Turkey, is Turkey's fourth largest city and is often referred to as Green Bursa. It's referenced to its numerous parks and gardens, the many sulfur springs surrounding the city, and the famous Uladag Mountains help make the city a great spot for nature lovers. An apartment there and living expenses will set you back by $650 a month. Other one is Monterrey, Mexico. This beautiful city has over 1 million inhabitants. It beats out Paris and Milan in Nubia's quality of life index. It has gained a reputation as the most progressive city in the north of Mexico. It is also an important industrial center. A one bedroom there outside the city center, the living expenses to set you back about 900 per month. If you wanted an apartment in the city center, it will cost you about 1100. And the other one is Cape Town, South Africa. Cape Town, South Africa. With its sparkling blue waters, great weather, and iconic table mountain looming over the city, Cape Town is truly spectacular. Here you can get a one bedroom outside of the city center and cover living expenses for 1,000 a month. For those keen to be in the city center, it'll be 1250 a month for rent and living costs. Right. So those are the top cities. I think those are pretty good. I think you should put those on your to do list to go visit, just in general, and just explore the cities. Go take go ev- do it. You can do these six cities in the next yeah, you can do these in the next 6 months or so. Visit one city a month and just go and get yourself engulfed in the city on a weekend or something like that, and be okay. I'm sure you will see some stuff just came out August the 5th on Business Insider. Again, those cities are Buenos Aires, Argentina; Santiago, Chile; Sofia, Bulgaria. I want to say Sofia Loren. I don't know why. Bursa, Turkey; Monterrey, Mexico; and Cape Town, South Africa. Now, here's another little thing you could do. You could get you like a getaway through your trust, and fly over there, get you a condo. I don't know what condo costs in Cape Town. Condos in Cape Town, South Africa. I don't know. You get a condo. I don't know. This sold to be this that'll be expensive, but yay, we're talking about abundance. We're living in abundance, right? We got an abundance mindset here, right, D? We got an abundance mindset. Why? Let me see. Let me go to price low to high. Okay, 89,000. What y'all tripping on out there? 120, right? Get you a little condo over in South Africa for 110 in a two-bedroom, right? You could do that. Oh, 16 photos. I'm trying to find them. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I click on one, will it come up? No, I guess I just got to stay here. Here we go. Get you a little condo, little something, you know. Keep it pushing. Need to find what the rate of exchange is between your dollar and South Africa, but this is possible. Let's scoot up. Let's scoot up. Let's go up. We got 120, 132. Let's go about the 3 or 400 range. Just curious, is in the 3 or 400 range what we start looking like. It's 216. I probably need to go back about 3 pages up right here. I probably need to go about well, it's 299 right there. All right, so 326 range. All right, so this is what the 326 is getting you. Cape Town. Got the doors here. Got a little patio. Right. Got 27 photos here. Right. Okay. Got a little view. Got a little water view there. Got a little patio to open up to the in your living room. You can lay there. Little kitchen. The kitchen is enough. You don't need a whole lot. You only come in. You're a digital nomad. You work remotely, and you want to go sit in your condo in South Africa for 2 weeks. Now, the question I have is what type of work you're doing, and is it okay for you to be in that country, laptop wise and all that, right? Those are the questions I would have. I don't know. Abundance. We thinking abundance. We thinking abundance here. You can do it. This is possible, right? And you know what? You don't have to do this by yourself. You can set it up in. You can put this in your trust and Airbnb out. You can have people inside your trust, and you all take care of that, and y'all take turns. Going over there, looking at it, taking care of, it, renting it out. Whatever, whatever. Just giving you options. Oh no, drop in the comments what you're thinking, not thinking, or whatnot. Um, but again, I'm just thinking out loud, um, based upon the list that they gave, right? Based upon the list that they gave, right? This one got 38 photos. Got a little private garden now. You know, got a little deck off to the side. Going to get you a jacuzzi and throw it in the bed. You got a little privacy wall right there. You can put you some lights on that wall right there. You can get you a little projector and project the TV on the wall right there so you can sit outside and watch TV. All right. Get you an umbrella, maybe a little high. All right. Your little workout area so you do your TikTok videos. Right. You want fitness. We out here, change your chi, put your little desk outside, get your little bells blowing outside, you're sitting out there, you know, not bad, not bad. All right, little gate, pull in, okay. You got enough for 2 or 3 cars. You can go outside and jump rope, work out there, or you can do it in the back. I'm assuming this is probably a washer and dryer situation here. I don't like those. I heard they make your clothes smell. I hope they gotten better over the years, but I heard they make your clothes smell. Okay. I wonder, does this have an upstairs? It should. Little bar. Okay. All right. Bedroom. It's enough size. It's enough for you to get in there and stretch out. Nice size bathroom. You know, shower stall a little small. I like space in the shower stall. That's a little small, but it's your condo, so you can expand that some. Got closet space there. Look like it maybe one level. A little tight. This furniture too big for this room. This too big. Then that will have to go. I get it, but that's too big. Like it's maybe some child or something like this, like a child bed or something like that. But that's too big. Storage underneath, I get it, but that's too big. You got to look outside. Yeah, this is like a child room. Okay, here we go. I was like, that. The other shower was like, I'm gonna get claustrophobic. I'm gonna turn around and be like, oops, oops. Okay, not bad, not bad. Not bad. All right, my last one. I can do this all day. My last one. My last one. I swear. We're gonna take abundance here, and we're gonna go up price high to low. All right, 10 million, 7 million, 5 million. We got a little ocean view. Let's go here. Ocean View Drive. I'm with Ocean View Drive. Okay, 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 okay. Yes. All right. That's what. Yeah, yeah. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, elevator privacy. So what you talking about? 20 minutes. What you talking about? 20 minutes. She we here. That's what I'm talking about. Layout. This is why I want to lay out. Give me one more month. I'm gonna be calling y'all from Cape. We're gonna do it live from Cape Town. We're gonna do it live. Where are they in Cape Town? We are. Yeah, yeah. Let's do it. Let's sit outside. That's right. Yep, yep. This is in the front. This is in the trust. This is an asset. This in the trust. Yeah, the Lenny show. We're gonna start. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. We're getting ready to start. I'm just going through these. Hey man, don't mess up the abundance mindset. Think abundance. Don't worry about the Linux show. Live in the now. We're gonna do the Linux show. I got a lot of stuff on that show too. Don't worry. There we go. Was it floating staircase? Nice little bathroom, bedroom. Give me some room. Put a little chase in there. A little something something. What I don't like is, well, you don't have to have one. The TV on the wall, right? So I wouldn't put the TV in there just to be on the wall. You just look at your laptop. Look at your tablet. I don't need that. Just get you a big ass tablet, 12 to 18 inches. Call it good. Bath. Look at there. Indoor outdoor shower. Okay, okay, okay. So what's up? Okay, cool. I think y'all get the. Oh, wait, what was that? You get the vision. You see, I gave you the areas. Now you need to go look at the other 6 areas or the other 5 cities and see what they got. Somebody said push the show back an hour. You see that, D? Push the show back an hour. Why we gotta push it back an hour? You would say you got things to do. You catch the replay. D, how much time you need? You want to start at 1 o'clock? 1 o'clock my time, 3 o'clock your time. D, let me know what you want to do. 3:15. Okay. 3:15. 30 minutes, give or take. Okay. 30 minutes. You didn't get an hour. You got 30 minutes. All right. So you all got it. So we're gonna end here, trust foundations, and then we're gonna roll into the next show in 30 minutes. I give you a chance to get your snacks. Don't be late. Um, I'm telling you, don't be late because we're gonna start, and I'm gonna be flying into information. And be ready. All right, now. See you later.